Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and I am so excited because we have got more spoilers from Rivals Over Ixalan, or Jurassic Park, wherever the hell they call us. I don't know what it's called. The one with the little Chinese head, that little, yeah. Let's start with Siege Horn Ceratops because, I don't know, it's a 2/2 for 2 dual color, and whenever it receives damage, put 2 1/1 counters on it. And then in parentheses, they remind you, it must survive the damage to get the counters. Damage doesn't go on the stack, but as a state-based action, damage would destroy the creature before the trigger resolves. Because it is a triggered ability and damage doesn't go on the stack, but you act like it does under this circumstance. Whatever, you guys know how it works. That would really only work in an artificial enraged deck, which seems to be almost exclusively red, but if you're playing 3-color dinosaurs, this would be pretty nuts. Next up, we've got Nezahal Primal Tide, aka Nessie. They need to put that on more cards. I mean, as much as I love playing blue, I hate getting my biggest stuff countered. You can blow it up once it hits the battlefield, okay? You got plenty of time to do that, which is why I'm glad that they're barely printing hexproof anymore, because hexproof sucks. You have no maximum hand size, which is wonderful because you're probably top decking by the time you have 7 mana. Of course, this is probably going to just come out for free in a cheater deck. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, draw a card. That's pretty nuts. That's even better than Kambal, Chief of Police, or what? I don't remember what it was. And also, discard 3 cards, exile Nezahal, and return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. I mean, it'll survive a board wipe because it's not an immediate flicker where it leaves, comes back, and then still gets board wiped, so that's kind of nice, the whole end step thing. But 3 cards, I mean, you're playing blue, isn't one of those 3 cards negate? I mean, come on, let's be honest. But if there was a color to hold 3 cards in their hand, it would be blue, because it's a lot of, like, responsive kind of stuff. So, I mean, honestly, this isn't, like, great, but it's pretty good. As far as blue creatures goes, it's pretty good. Next up, Vicious Cage Match. Just kidding, I'm actually going to pronounce them correctly in this video. By the way, that artwork is incorrect. Vampires don't taste good at all. They're dead. Anyway, it's a 5/5 for 5. It has Enrage, and whenever it's dealt damage, exile target creature an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. Holy crap, is that powerful. I thought the card draw Enrage and the cloner Enrage was pretty good, but this takes the cake. I mean, it's a 5/5 for 5, and you'd almost want to stop swinging with it because they'd get all their creatures back if they, I don't know, flash in a creature or some kind of Celestial Flare clone forcing you to sack it or whatever. But still, like, this is good. Even if they get their stuff back, how many turns was it gone for? And you were swinging away with dinos the whole time. So, yeah. And a 5/5 will survive just about any kind of damage. You chump block it, and you're losing the creature, and then you're going to lose another creature. That is crazy. Oh, FYI, non-legendary. Next up, Crafty Cut Purse. There's just something funny about that artwork. I don't know why. It's just clever. I think it's pretty funny. And who the hell has money that big? Oh, I'd like to buy a cheeseburger, sir. Have my large gold-plated disc, which, you may notice, is larger than the cheeseburger. So to Flash, it's a 2/2 for 4. When it enters battlefield, each token that would be created under an opponent's control this turn is created under your control instead. That is hilarious. The problem is, you're really only going to get one shot at it while the effect is on the stack, and then you resolve this by putting it in response. But this thing kidnapping one of those cloner poly dinosaur things, Polyraptor, whatever, that would be funny. That would be pretty damn funny. This is so situational. It's such a crap creature otherwise. Because, I mean, usually just a creature with Flash is, like, cool, because then you can throw it in and block something. But unless you're blocking something that's like a 4/2, you don't get a whole lot of value out of this. Because, I mean, 2/2 ain't going to kill much. So overall, I mean, it's kind of alright. I mean, I would probably put it in a sideboard. I just can't see this being mainboarded. It's damn clever, though, because you guys know I love stealing my opponent's creatures, as evidenced by my last 2 decks. Next up, Dire Fleet Poisoner. Really exceptionally cool artwork on this one. Just the detail. Oh my gosh, I love it. And that's like some kind of weird artificer wrist cannon thing. Man, that is cool. I gotta see this in foil, because light blue foils are so cool. Alright, so it's a 2/2 for 2. It's a pirate. Gotta love the tribals. Flash Death Touch, that's hilarious. And when it enters the battlefield, target attacking pirate you control gains +1/+1 and Death Touch. Ooh, survivability with Death Touch. So you got options there between either one. It's like, oh, now it's too big. Okay, I keep it. Or who cares how big it is? I'm, you know, getting blocked by a 7/7. Here, have Death Touch. So, I mean, this, if it was just a vanilla pirate for 1 black, 1 generic, and 2/2, that would be good. Add Flash, it's really good. Add an effect, it's even better. And add Death Touch, it's crazy. I love this. But it's still, like, under control. It's still tame. It's not OP. What is OP is the number of women that they seem to think are pirates, because that's ridiculous. Having a woman on a pirate ship was considered bad luck. Classic SJW revisionist history there, and as I am referring to this as history, even though Wizards doesn't know the difference between the Yucatan and Mexico. Next up, some pretty cool looking steel-clad Hasta Dons. Oh my god, this is an 8/5 for 7. Damn. Enrage, which is a shame because it has 5 toughness and 8 attack. 5/8 would be maybe a little bit more appropriate, but 5 is 5. Whenever it's dealt damage, each opponent sacrifices a permanent. Each opponent! You can swing at one opponent in a multiplayer and then be like, oh, I'm going to block you because I don't want to take 8 damage, and then everybody else has to sack a permanent. That is funny. Put this in your commander deck. Oh my god. Okay, seriously, there's like all different dinosaur options. It's probably the most various tribal that you could do, but Enrage could be a central theme with them, or just reduce cost, aggressive attack, haste, combat tricks, that kind of stuff, boosting, whatever. But honestly, if you want to go turbo cheap, I feel like you could probably get a $30 deck done with just mono red Enrage self-trigger. I mean, there's enough red dinosaurs that, yeah, you could use some green ones, you could use some white ones, but like, if you want to go mono because mono's cheap and you don't have to pay for the lands, like, this would be the one I would pick. Although, honestly, mono-white vampires would be pretty good, but I feel like after the Pro Tour, vampires are probably kind of expensive. I haven't checked lately, but it's probably pretty bad on price. Next up, Path of Metal, but not the cool kind of metal. That is definitely Catherine Zeta-Jones ducking under laser beams. Who got that reference? I don't care who got that reference. When Path of Metal enters the battlefield for a mere 2 mana, it deals 1 damage to each creature that doesn't have first strike, double strike, vigilance, or haste. Oh, I get it. It's like an obstacle course. You gotta be like all high dexterity. That's clever. Whenever you attack with at least 2 creatures that have first strike, double strike, vigilance, and or haste. Okay. Once again, Wizards, what does that mean specifically? Even in just the English language, there are multiple ways to interpret that. It's whenever you attack with at least 2 creatures that have first strike, like 2 with first strike or 2 with double strike, or 2 with one of the following, which is the way a normal person would have phrased that, if that's even what they meant. Now, it does say and or, which implies that you can mix and match, but it only implies it. There are going to be so many confused people pulling out their smartphones. They just got to be a little bit more clear with this stuff. Anyway, you flip it into what I assume is probably this. I don't know. I downloaded these from a weird source where they were out of order. I mean, okay, it literally says in parentheses, transforms from Path of Metal on the card, but we can't be 100% sure, okay? Nothing is 100% certain. I mean, clearly this is, but still. All I gotta say about this is those look like delicious orange peels on top of that, and I want to eat them, and I don't know why. I'll eat the bird too if it tastes like pheasant, because it kind of looks like pheasant. So you can tap it, add 1 color of mana of any color. That's totally what it says to your mana pool. Hey, guess what? You can also pay 1 and 1 red, and it deals 2 damage to each opponent. That's pretty damn good, actually, especially if you have an untapped trigger. And that's not sorcery speed. That's just do it whenever. And then you got pay 2 and then 1 life, so 3 total. Tap it and choose a creature at random that attacked this turn. Destroy that creature. That's unreliable, obviously, but it's still recurring removal, so it's still good. I think the whole, like, you can't control what it is thing, that was the point. This is quite possibly one of the best lands I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, those abilities are insane, although there is a counter to this that I already read about, and it is comical, so wait for that one. That said, this is going to be a $10 card all day. But not the other side. The other side's only $1, this side is like $10. Keep that in mind. Next up, Direfleet Daredevil, pulling some, I don't know, I guess it'd be like Indiana Jones crossover with Mission Impossible stuff? We'll just say Rainbow Six. She's Rainbow Six in it. First strike, 2/1, awesome. Whenever it enters the battlefield, exile target instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard. Thank God. You may cast that card. Oh, they ruined it. This turn, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast that spell, and then obviously exile it. It seems like, like an overpowered card because it's like, oh, you get to repeat it. It's Torrential Gearhulk, but it says opponent's graveyard. So that means that in all likelihood, they did it to you. So you're just doing it back. So, I mean, it is this turn, and this only costs 2, so you'd probably have maybe 3 mana open in an average game, maybe more. So yeah, you'd leave yourself open to be able to, being able to cast some pretty powerful stuff. So I like this. This is pretty nuts. Next up, Deadeye Rig Hauler. God, is that seriously a bunch of men standing around where a possibly female is doing physical labor on a ship? The believability of female pirates just went from about a -1 down to about a -100. I don't know if you guys knew this or not. I personally learned this in biology class, but men are typically stronger than women because they develop muscles because of testosterone. That's apparently news to some people at Wizards. Yes, I'm purposely reading too much into it and exaggerating, and that's probably a man. That's the point. You gotta hit SJWs back with their exaggerated BS and hyperbole just the way they do it to us. Don't forget to respect women. So this is a 4-cost 3/2, and it has raid, so if you attack with whatever that says, you may return target creature to its owner's hand. That's kind of nice. I mean, it's just like, whatever. But see, if there's a big giant threat, did you really swing into it that turn? That's the problem with raid. Raid never was good, because if you need a really powerful raid effect, it's probably because you're losing, and because your board state and creature line is weaker than your opponent's. So you really don't want to swing. I mean, raid plus flash, now you got something. That's a surprise. But other than that, But this one, it's like, if you missed it, okay, whatever. You dropped it in, whatever. Now you got a 3/2, cool. But it's kind of overpriced then. But it is a pirate. So it's like, if you just treated it like a tribal, like, all right. But other than that, I mean, it's just like, oh, I really need that effect because something huge is on the board. Let's swing at it. Great idea. I mean, it'll work with a Death Toucher or an Unblockable, but that's about it. Next up, Cataclysmic Dinosaur Hulk. Costs 3, it's a sorcery, double white because it's awesome, and each player chooses any number of creatures he or she controls with total power 4 or less, then sacrifices all other creatures he or she controls. This is so stupidly specific, I wouldn't even put it in a sideboard. I mean, the one thing is people that use counter and passive boost based tribals would just get obliterated by this card, but Settle the Wreckage is just an empirically better card for 1 more mana. You could run both, but it's like, if they had like 2 Merfolk that said, give all Merfolk +1, or all Merfolk enter with a counter, or whatever, basically all their Merfolk are power 4 or greater, then ta-da, this. But it's not instant speed, so you can't just sneak it in after they've spent all their mana, or in response to them swinging, so it's not that good, but it's just so specific. And also, it hits you too, so like, what the hell are you playing where you don't have anything with power 4 or greater? I mean, that's probably why you're losing. Next up, we've got Return to the... I almost said Wild. That would have made way more sense. Return to the Wind. What does that even mean? You didn't come from the wind. You came from the ocean, you lying merfolk. Okay, so this card's like really weird. It's such a roundabout way of doing this, and honestly, I think it might even be a little bit overcosted. So you exile target non-land permanent. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. So if you exile anything that your opponent owns, they could recast it immediately, which is not a big deal, I guess, if it had counters on it, or if it was transformed, or, you know, whatever it is, you just reset it. Also, this will just outright get rid of any kind of token. Also, if it's a card that has a secondary casting cost, or I should say like an additional cost, then they have to pay that again. Now, for your own permanents, it would be something with an enters the battlefield effect. Or I guess if you really wanted to like unflip something, which would be kind of narrow. So, I mean, like, considering what it does, it's just like a glorified bounce spell, kind of, and you get more value out of Unsummon or Panharmonicon, in my opinion. Oh, or Kefnet's Last Word, where instead of removing it from play and then letting them recast it, you just steal it. Next up, colorless mythic. We got Jace picking the lock on Azores Gateway. It's a 2-cost legendary colorless artifact. I am making this my commander. Try to stop me. Ain't no rules that say your commander can't be a door, okay? You pay 1, tap it, draw a card, then exile a card from your hand. If cards with 5 or more different converted mana costs are exiled, you gain 5 life, untap it, and transform it. What the hell is this card? Care to run that by me again? Pay 1, tap it, draw a card, then exile a card from your hand, so it's your choice. If cards with 5 or... Okay, let's rephrase this. Amongst all the cards that you exiled with this one particular permanent, if they have 5 or more different converted mana costs, then you gain 5 life, untap it, and transform it. Okay, that's how a normal person would have phrased it, so that people can, you know, figure out what this does. Oh, this is the coolest artwork ever, because it's the giant... Actually, wait a minute. I think that image that we got that was like leaked of the immortal sun isn't the immortal sun. It's the skylight above the immortal sun. Because like, look at that. I think it's shining down on the immortal sun, which is simply just a stone tablet as far as we know. That is freaking hilarious. Oh, they're totally going to have to Indiana Jones it because those are totally like tripwire laser infrared detectors, but with magic. Oh my God. And if you interrupt the beams to try to grab it, I bet like a giant stone like ball comes rolling out and then Azor's on top of it, balancing on it and like walking on it like a circus bear. Oh, sorry, guys, I totally forgot. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, sorry. Okay, so like I went to the hardware store to buy some titanium bits to drill through something today, and they had chocolate covered cherry boxes of a dozen for 75 cents. And I ate what can only be considered a very unhealthy amount of them, and I am just like blazing right now. I can't read, and I can't take anything seriously. What the hell does this thing do? Okay, you tap it, add X mana of any one color to your mana pool, where X is your life total. What the hell? You know what? I would rewrite this. Okay, tap it, win the flippin' game. Walking Ballista, I win, piss off. That's basically what this says. Reach into your hand, grab Walking Ballista, target opponent, scoops. Oh my God, just Torment of Hailfire for 20. I mean, what the hell? I mean, the funny thing is, like, this card is basically unplayable because you have to activate it 5 times. You probably, in all likelihood, have to get rid of 3 out of the 5 cards that you actually needed. You're just like, oh, I need one that costs 2. Oh, crap, there goes my negate. And the best thing is, 1, it's legendary. 2, even if it wasn't legendary, you still can't use 2 of them to refer to... Okay, let me put it this way. If a card refers to itself by name, it means literally this one instance of this permanent, not any card named Azores Gateway. So then if somebody flickers this, you start all over. So this is insanely powerful, but if you're like holding the win condition, like some kind of, I don't know, rolling thunder, like fireball clone or whatever, you know, I can't remember what, there's really... I mean, Endless One is out. There's nothing good left with X in it, is there? I mean, it's just Torment and Ballista, like that's it. But you're holding that and you're like, okay, you're in trouble. 5 turns from now, if I coincidentally also have 5 different costed spells in my hand, I mean, oh God. There was like a red mythic that was absolute garbage that was basically like this, except it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, and nobody played it. Also, it was probably a rare, not a mythic. I don't remember. All right, next, Moment of Craving. We got a 2-cost instant that is not a creature. I just look at the artwork, guys. I don't read the subtype line or the super type line. I don't read anything, actually. I just feel the artwork. This feels like a powerful card. I don't need to read the rest. Although it actually is pretty good because target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. You gain 2 life. That's not exactly, Grasp of Darkness, but it's pretty damn good. I mean, you take out some little annoyance, maybe some fun-sized creature with indestructible. I don't know, you ain't gonna take out much with a 2/2, let's be honest. And then you gain 2 life. Now the thing is though, you could do this in the middle of combat. So you swing a 4/4 into a 5/5 and like, oh, I'm gonna block you. Boom, you make it a 3/3, gain 2 life on top of it, and it's gone. So combat manipulation, combat tricks, this will be a huge card in at the pre-release or in any kind of like draft or sealed, whatever. Oh yeah, limited is what normal people call that, but I'm not normal. So yeah, this is just a damn good card. All right, let's do one more, then I'm gonna split this into 2 videos. Deadeye Brawler. Hey, it's a guy. Oh wait, did I just assume his gender? He could be transitioning and still has a beard for some reason. I mean, seriously, if that's okay, like, put in some effort. At least shave, my God. Not everybody has electrolysis money, but, like, everybody has a shaver, for God's sake. Anyway, he's a creature, human transpirate, and he's a 2/4 with Death Touch, which is how every Death Touch creature should be, or a 1/5, you know, that's just how they all should be, because that's what Death Touch does. He, she, Z has Ascend, which is never going to happen in any deck ever, especially when your permanents cost 4. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, if you have the City's Blessing, draw a card. Now, see, that's pretty good, except I'm pretty sure that, like, M14 or RTR reprint or functional reprint is still legal right now, and you just hit them and draw a card, just straight up. It's basically this card for cheaper and in 1 color. Now, the good thing about this, though, and effects like this are you don't have to then discard a card, which is how almost every one of these cards is phrased. So this is pretty good, but even in like a Pirate Swarm deck, which this is not a terribly popular color for Pirates right now, like at all. I still don't think it's that great, but I will say that like a 2/4 Death Toucher for like 3 would be pretty good. But this costs 4, so yeah. Alright, so watch for part 2 of today's spoiler drops. They're just arbitrary parts. I might name it part 2 just to piss people off, or part B, or part D. I don't friggin' know. Don't even bother with the damn subscribe button. I'm gonna upload it in like 30 minutes. And remember, this isn't just a news channel. This is a conversation, so I want to hear what you have to say about these spoilers down in the comment section below. And that's where I'm going to end today's video. And remember, if you like this video, if you like what I try to do on this channel, hit that like button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, remember, if you missed yesterday's spoiler video and you want to catch up, click or tap on some stuff to go find it yourself because I'm too lazy to use end cards. But that said, of course, as always, my name is Desolator Magic. You've just been filled in. I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, no, I'm uploading another video like still today.